This College Hockey Southwest Weekly podcast is brought to you by College Bar and Grill, Behind the Mask Hockey Shops, Oxy Powder, Peoria Ford, Super Embroidery and Screen Printing, Oceanside Ice Arena, and DevilsHockey.shop. And now here's your host, Scott Strandy.
And we're back with another edition of College Hockey Southwest Weekly and our podcast series getting ready for the 2018 Desert Classic. And we're joined now with Mike Vaillancourt of Clarkson Radio. And Mike, first of all, very nice to have you on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a lot of fun.
And the obvious question that we're getting for a lot of people is, you're here in Arizona for a college hockey tournament. Did you ever think you'd hear that?
I tell you what, it really speaks to the growth of the game, that you have a premier tournament happening in Arizona, and just how far college hockey in particular has grown in terms of not only participation, but the quality of play. And I think it just speaks volumes not only to what's happening at the collegiate level, but also what's happening at the junior level and the minor hockey level as well.
Yeah. We're going to, before we get into the tournament as a whole, Clarkson, if they're on their game, what are we going to see?
I think what you're going to see is a lot of puck possession, especially in the offensive zone. A team that does really well in terms of spacing, coming in transition. They'll try to turn you over, get speed out through the neutral zone, and go 2-on-1, 3-on-2, and do so very quickly. If they do that and win face-offs, that's really when Clarkson's at its best.
As I was looking over the roster for Clarkson, a lot of young guys on this team, not a lot of seniors, a few juniors, but mostly freshmen and sophomores. How will we know if that's going to be a factor in this tournament or not?
I think you're going to see it primarily on the defensive end. If the freshmen and sophomores are playing well, it's going to show up on the D zone, in particular coverage. You're going to shut down high-quality scoring chances. And if it's a 5, 6, 7, 8 scoring chance night, that's when you know the freshmen are playing particularly well on the blue line.
Jake Kiley, your goalie. What can we see out of him? Does he have a particular style? Is he more of a stand-up? Is he butterfly? Is he better with the glove, the stick?
He's the traditional butterfly goaltender. When he's on, there's little to no rebound, or any rebound that's out there, it's up and out to the corner. So if that is happening, if there's nothing being kicked back in the slot, you know he's on his point.
You obviously know him better than the rest of us. He's got 3 other goalies in this tournament that are top-notch. Do you think that will make him bring his game up to another level?
Yeah, if you talk to Jake, he's a real level kind of kid. Like, nothing seems to bother him, but he is one of the most competitive people you're ever going to want to meet. So this tournament is, it's a measuring stick for everybody involved. But if you look at one position in this tournament, it's probably 4 of the best goaltenders in the nation. So yeah, he's taking note, and I'm sure he's going to want to raise his game here this weekend.
4 good goalies means 4 good teams. And as we brought up as we were getting ready to do this interview, this tournament really does have a regional feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's great because, you're coming right back off Christmas break, and there's no lag time. I mean, all the teams involved, all the players involved, the attention is right there from the first day. And, even if you only have one practice prior to, everything is hyper-focused. So you said this tournament really does kind of have that regional feel to it. And I know Casey likes to schedule tough out-of-conference games anyway. So this was just a perfect fit.
Yeah, especially when no matter what you do in the first game, you're facing a really quality team in the second game, regardless of how it works out. When you go to a tournament and you face the home team in a tournament, it's not an accident. Do you think that will make Clarkson play with a little bit more of a chip on their shoulder?
Well, I think anytime you go to a tournament like this, there's a chip on your shoulder anyway. Arizona State came out to Potsdam a couple years ago, so we owed them a return trip. And this first game here this evening against Arizona is fulfilling that end of that. So, I think anytime you get in a tournament, the home team says, we want to play you, maybe. But realistically, we owed them a return trip back, and this is the fulfillment for that.
What do you know about the Arizona State team?
I know, and what I've seen on video is that they're a 4-line deep team. They can come at you with 4 groups. The skill and the speed as they progress through their lines and through their recruiting gets better and better. It's a team that executes its system very, very well, which makes them very difficult to play against for 3 periods. They just keep coming and coming and coming, and they'll lean on you and wear you out. And really, you see that in about the 10-minute mark of the third period down to the end of regulation, and even in some cases in overtime, that teams get worn out because Arizona State does play a hard, heavy game.
Well, Mike, we wish you and Clarkson the best of luck in the tournament this weekend. We appreciate you having you on, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your time in Arizona.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you want to get rid of that stink from the rink? Or maybe wipe out the smell of smoke, pets, or other household irritants? When you need an organic-based odor, bacteria, virus, mold, or fungus eliminated safely, naturally, and with no harmful toxins or residues left behind, call on Oxy Powder. For more information or to get in touch, visit oxypow.com. That's OXYPOW.com.
And we're back with another edition of College Hockey Southwest Weekly as we continue our coverage of the 2018 Desert Classic. We're here with Andrew Bell, who is the managing editor of the House of Sparky website. I'm not sure if he does a couple of other things on top of it with that, but Andrew, we just finished the first game. Minnesota Duluth has a 2-0 lead and falls behind and regains to win in overtime. As we get ready for this ASU game, the winner will play Duluth for the championship. What do you expect to see in this next game?
I'm expecting to see an ASU team who's been doing what they've done most of the season this year, and that's play some pretty solid hockey. This is a great opportunity for them against a Clarkson team who's legitimate, and there's a reason they're the number 19 team in the country, and there's so many good teams here this week, and it's a chance for them to showcase themselves, and I'm expecting a pretty good effort. And of course, that guy Johnny Walker, everybody knows about. I'm expecting him to have a big game, and then the freshmen as well, guys like Josh Maniscalco, PJ Morocco, and Jordan Sandu, of course, helping as well. But I'm expecting a good hockey game this evening.
You've been here watching most of these games in person and live, in addition to dealing with the website. When you watch, what do you look for to see whether or not the team is on their game?
I'd say the biggest thing is just the ability to control the puck and puck possession, and especially how hard they are on the forecheck. There have been times this season, I think of the Harvard game, the Friday night game in Harvard earlier this season, and a couple other times where I thought ASU came out maybe a little bit slow in the first period, but when they're really going and when they're really playing well is when they're really strong on the forecheck. Guys like Anthony Crossan, Dylan Holman, they kind of ignite the fire for them, and they get everybody else going with the ability that they have to use the body and really get in there, like I said, on the forecheck, and then as well breaking pucks out of their own zone, not turn the puck over in their own zone as well. I think definitely what you look for when you're crisp and looking good.
When the season started, we knew Johnny Walker had his ability to score. We knew Joey DeCord was the quality goaltender that he was. Is there anything that has surprised you in this first 20 games?
If there's one thing, I think it's just how quickly the freshmen have made an impact. Like I said, guys like PJ Morocco, Jordan Sandu, Josh Maniscalco, even Demetrius Kumanzis, he was a highly touted freshman coming in. Guys like that, I thought they'd take a little time to kind of get into things. They've made an immediate impact right away, and they've made their presences felt every night. I think that's the biggest surprise to me this year, is just the amount of freshmen who have made immediate impacts and who continue to do so throughout the season. I'm going to be interested to see towards the latter stages how kind of their bodies hold up and how they continue to progress late in the season.
You get a tournament like this, you have 4 quality teams like this. Does this kind of whet your appetite? Say, man, oh man, what happens if they start playing past Minnesota and get into that final 16?
Yeah, definitely. I think this for ASU is going to be a taste. You don't want to say anything too early. There's a lot of hockey left to be played, but if they do get into the round of 16 as an independent, this is a taste and a good preview of what they're going to see if they get to that national tournament. We just saw Minnesota Duluth and Minnesota State play a really well-played hockey game. Those are 2 of the top schools in the country and the national championship school, Minnesota Duluth. So I think games like these are kind of the games where you test yourself. It's a measuring stick, and it's also what you play for. You get to see some of the best teams in the country come to your hometown, your area, and you get to play in front of a huge crowd in an NHL arena. It doesn't get much better than that, and I'm expecting not only tonight but tomorrow as well some more good hockey.
One last thing. when you applied to come to Arizona State, did you think that you would be seeing D1 hockey at this level?
It's funny, I was talking, I want to say a couple weeks ago with a couple of friends of mine. It comes full circle when you think about how just a couple years ago this ASU team kind of had some of the growing pains of being a first-year program, but to see them now in my senior year, it's my last year at ASU, but being without Sparky, seeing them kind of come full circle, it's pretty impressive just with the freshmen that they've been able to garner, and then going on the East Coast, beating teams like Harvard, Princeton, Michigan State. That was something that a couple years ago I wouldn't really have expected, especially when the program was kind of first starting off. So it's pretty impressive, and now they're kind of in year 4 here. I think they're kind of pulling everything together.
Well, Andrew, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes. Continued success to you and the website, and hopefully we'll see you down the line.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it. Should be a good game and a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Behind the Mask Hockey Shops, celebrating 25 years of exceptional service to the Arizona hockey community, offering the top brands and an educated staff of hockey players to help you choose the right gear for you. Visit any one of our 3 Valley locations or check us out online at behindthemask.com.
All right, welcome into another edition of College Hockey Southwest Weekly. I've got a diehard Sun Devil fan here. We're between the first and second period at Gila River Arena. Neither one of us are too happy right now, are we, Mike?
That was not the start we were looking for at all. Not the start at all.
Mike McNally is our resident expert on Sun Devil hockey. Supporter, does a little bit of everything with the team, but tell us a little bit about what you thought that first period was.
You know, obviously these teams are coming in here with a little bit of a layoff. Everybody has that. It seems like that affected us more than them. Passing was really as bad as I've seen us do it all year long. You know, Joey looked a little shaky back there as well. So hopefully, you know, win these next 2 periods, and we'll be okay.
Well, the good news is we only came out with a 2-0 deficit. It could have been worse. And 2-0 is something that, what do they say, that's the hardest lead to hold in hockey, right?
It is. And the key to us is we got to stay out of the box.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've got to stay out of the box. And surprisingly for us, you know, we got one of the best PK units in the nation, and we didn't show that tonight. But obviously that 5-on-3 really hurt us.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk in general about the Desert Hockey Classic. You got to like the crowd that you see here as a Sun Devil supporter, correct?
It's been great. I was surprised. I wasn't sure what to expect coming in. But this has been better than we've seen in the past. Yeah. Obviously, the first year out here, we had Michigan Tech. They brought some people out, but Duluth and Minnesota State were great teams to bring in. They got a lot of people here.
Absolutely. The first game was an exciting one. Ended up in an overtime winner.
It was a great game. Obviously, you know, you look at how Minnesota State started off. Gave up those 2 quick ones. Got right back in the game, so there's something for us to take a look at. I thought those teams both settled in a little bit. You know, Duluth got fortunate on that last goal. Got a little bit of a little tip there at the end, but I think for us, it'd be nice to play Duluth for us for pair-wise.
Right.
Down the future, get that NCHC on us, but you know, we got our work cut out for us now.
Well, I want to talk about a couple of things that we'll play analyst here. The team gets new black jerseys, fine, right? They get new gold sticks. I'm a little worried about that. You know how superstitious guys are with sticks. To bring them out now, I'm not sure that was the right idea. Joey gets new gold pads. Hasn't had a lot of chance to play in them yet. I'm a little worried about that. But we're flashy. Will they adapt to it? Do you think it has anything to do with the start?
I would hope not. You know, maybe that look good, feel good, play good kind of thing. But at the end of the day, we just got to play hockey. You know, we've got to go out there and make the plays. I mean, we got to get these passing lanes, cut these guys down. We got to get into the zone, and we're not doing that right now. So to me, so that's not so much the uniforms, the sticks. You know, I don't think we're going to change anything up. We just got to play better.
So we're talking about 14 wins right now, 14 games to go, 13 after this one. We're all counting the number. We're looking at the pairwise. How many is it going to take in your estimation? How many wins?
24 minimum. Yeah. It's you're looking at somewhere in the top 12, right? Because you're going to have those sneaky guys that sneak in, steal bids.
Sure.
So I think you got to be somewhere in the top 12 to even feel comfortable at that point. Sitting at 9, we're still kind of teetering. Now, good stat that I saw on College Hockey News. They were talking about 75% of the teams that are in the top 10 at this point in time in the year make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But for us, really, this next 6 games. This tournament here this weekend, Boston College and then Cornell, that's to me going to define where we are.
Yeah.
If we come out of this thing 4-2, we're going to be okay. 3-3, we're still in play. Anything below that, we're going to be up. It's going to be uphill for us.
Totally agree. And one of the things that report didn't show was a team that's in a non-conference. It's difficult in a non-conference. You know it. I know it. We all know it, right?
Yeah, it is. And to me, this is the season that we talked about before that just begs us to get in that conference, because we could have a great season. We could win 22 games and be left on the outside, whereas 22 wins, you go into a conference. There's not a conference in the league that we couldn't win if we're hot going in the right time. So hopefully that comes soon to this piece. But right now we're kind of threading the needle to make this thing.
Mike, I appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the game. Enjoy.
Pre-game like a pro, post-game like a champion at College Bar and Grill. Located across the street from the iconic A Mountain and Sun Devil Stadium and a quick walk from Wells Fargo Arena, College Bar and Grill is your home for the best local craft beer, delicious creative cocktails, tasty food, and Tempe's best atmosphere for Arizona State athletics. College Bar and Grill. Pre-game like a pro, post-game like a champion. Online at ilovecollege.co.
College Hockey Southwest Weekly. We're between the second and the third period. If you've been around Sun Devil hockey, you know this guy, or at least know his son. Fred Garcia, welcome in. Dom's dad.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
Made the trip down from Las Vegas for the Gila River Arena Desert Hockey Classic, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how Dom got started playing hockey. What got him motivated to play this game?
Dominic started off roller hockey at Crystal Palace, and I think he saw some kids during a field trip doing the online skating, and then he got the interest.
Right.
And pursued it ever since.
So growing up in Las Vegas, Nevada, hockey, ice hockey, when he was a little guy, was not a big thing, was it?
Not really, no. It was roller hockey was initially what it was, and then he started playing in tournaments on a team.
Yep.
And then basically a former NHL coach, player, saw him play and then said, "Hey, you need to go to ice."
Right.
And that got the bug in him. And it's been ice ever since.
So he's a sophomore this year, here for his second year, wearing an A on the jersey for the alternate captain. How proud are you?
I'm in awe of what he's been doing. He's outperformed anything I thought he would do. I'm very proud of him.
Absolutely, and you guys living in Las Vegas, you went through the tragedy of last 1 October, and everybody's recuperating now, and things are building back up in Vegas. You got the Golden Knights playing well, but I talked to Dom after that, and it was emotional for him too, wasn't it?
It was. He had some friends that were actually a former coach that was actually shot. So Nick Raboni, and he's doing well. But it was very traumatic for him, and the fact that he couldn't get a hold of us was also, a weight on him.
I'm sure it did. So he's back in school and doing everything that he's supposed to be doing in the classroom too, from what Coach told me.
Yes.
So you got to be proud of the fact that he's using hockey to get an education as well, right?
No complaints. As a parent, I have no complaints. He is so self-driven, and he is an overachiever. He really works hard for what he wants, and it makes my job a lot easier.
I'm sure you learned at his very young age that hockey meant a lot of travel, right? You guys make the trip down here from Vegas whenever you can. Tell me a little bit about what it's been like to watch him play on the road and at home at Oceanside and those good things.
There's no way to explain it. I mean, I'm so excited for him. I mean, I personally tried to keep him down, and expectations. I never wanted to push him and say, yeah, go for it. We're from Southern Nevada. I didn't expect him to go so far, and I was trying to prepare him for it.
Right.
No matter what. I said, you might be the big guy around here, but, this is a big popular sport. And he's overcome and done well. And I'm so happy that I can come out here and see him, and of course, doing the education. Oh, that's awesome.
You remember the day that he decided to become a Sun Devil?
Yeah, it was on the phone. He was telling us about it, and we were kind of struggling with the whole thing because he had been already committed to the Air Force Academy.
Right.
So we're like, where does that leave us? And like I told you, this is new to me.
Yeah.
This is completely new to me, and we're just learning as we go along. And we're just proud that he's been able to do well here.
I think I can speak for all the Sun Devil faithful. We're happy to have him. We're going to be happier to have him for 2 more years. And I'm going to ask you, are you prepared if this team's ready to go into the NCAA tournament? Are you ready for another 4 months of this stuff?
I guess I'll be buying some plane tickets, but definitely I am. I'm ready for it.
Fred, I appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of the weekend here in Vegas. I almost said enjoy in Vegas. I didn't tell you how much time I spend there, right?
We bring a little out here with us. Huh?
All right, thanks for the time. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and just to let you know, we're all proud of Dom.
Thank you, Scott. We appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this College Hockey Southwest Weekly podcast, brought to you by College Bar and Grill, Behind the Mask Hockey Shops, Oxy Powder, Peoria Ford, Super Embroidery and Screen Printing, Oceanside Ice Arena, and DevilsHockey.shop. Remember, you can find us on the web at IceTimeHockeySW.com. Thanks for listening.